Basically a full
Greymane
comp. Yeah. Last but not least, we're really looking for Rich's hero here. If he's not going to be playing the Vala, we're looking for the solo laner. Solo lane very important, who will face off against Arthas. He has beaten Arthas in solo lane with the Sonya before, but Malthael is so powerful on this map for the objective. Problem being that Tyrael's on the other side, so tough to pick a Malthael here in terms of team fighting. Sonya, tough matchup against the Arthas. Rich has won it before, but not against Jung-Ah.
Isolation onto Rehgar can be pretty nice if you can bring a Dehaka here.
I think the reason why Isolation was so good last time is because they picked Hooligan so many times when he was caught out of position. And on this map, there's not as many ways that you're ever going to do that because there's no lanes to grab at. So, will we see Rich on the Vala? We're about to find out. Will be the solo lane to battle the Arthas. What's it going to be? Rich Sonya. Okay. Rich on the Sonya versus the Arthas. He's beaten this matchup before against the Arthas. Not an easy one, especially with the Howling Blasts. This is going to be a great top lane to watch. I think this is possibly going to be the best game we've had this series so far. Very balanced comps on both sides. Again, the story of SC against whoever's going to be playing DPS, whether it's Rich this time or Sake. It's going to be the battle of the DPSs. The carries protected by double support. Two support meta is a thing in Korea now. It is the permanent meta here, and maybe the meta for months to come. We will find out, but we're going to find out if MVP Black is going to close this series out or if L5 is bringing us to a Game 5 as we head into BOE. In blue, MVP Black, reset on Vala, Sake on Stukov, Kyocha on Uther, Rich on Sonya, and Tist on ETC.
And in red, L5, Hooligan on Tyrael, SCSE on Greymane, Jung-Ha on Arthas, SDE on Rehgar, and Swoi on Lucio.
Lightning Bond. Level 1 here for Rehgar.
Sonya really pressing hard. So there's a lane swap, seems like.
Yep.
As Rich also could block at level 1.
It's going to be pretty even trade. I guess probably a slight advantage to L5 because they attacked first and they have Greymane. Vala is just not as good, especially Q Vala, but it's going to be an even trade at the end of all things. Maybe slight lead and damage done to a fort or something like that. MVP is already rotating up. L5 is going to have to back off. They want the healing fountain. That's so important. They are going to get it. Black realizes this, and they commit to get it as well.
Yeah, that's right, but this push from L5 seems a lot faster compared to Black.
Well, they got there first, and they have Greymane. And in fact, we were just going to trade forts here. It's going to be a fortless game on this map.
Let's see how far they go. Of course, it won't be all the way to the keep or core.
I'll never say never, but I don't think so, yeah. We've seen games like that before. Oh, that's just going to be a fort traded. Looks like the very slightest lead to L5 in terms of experience because of the faster rotation over for L5. Black responded quickly. And now it's going to be about maybe 20% behind on experience. First Immortal is going to give us a lot more information about how these comps are going to operate, though. And the Stukov silence is going to be so critical in this early game. Before cleanse for Rehgar, which will help deal with it.
Sake took slow, which we've been seeing a lot from a lot of the Korean players. We'll stack that up, has it finished. Once it finishes, it has lower cooldown onto your slow. You slow multiple targets, easy to catch the target along with the silence. But look at this race. So far, L5 just dominating with Greymane.
Reset hyper aggressive here with this Vala, poking out the front. Sway's harassing him here. Hooligan comes in. They're looking for the burst there. Nice dodge on that Howling Blast there. That was really well done. But still, the chase is real. He gets away. The silence. So frustrating to deal with here. Looks like the race is going to go the way of L5, though. They're on this Immortal. There's no way the Black could catch up. 7K shields lead. part of the power of Tyrael on the defensive engages like that is the extra shields, the heals coming out from the Rhaegar, the Lucio. When the dive comes in, you have the defender's advantage there, on this spawn especially.
It's nicely done by L5, really pressuring in and forcing out the silence to be used right after. And that's on a long cooldown when it's used, so L5 really made a big pressure. I think they're going to keep using that with the Lucio. I think that's exactly why Lucio is just top tier in Korea right now, even banned sometimes.
Certainly so. All right, here we go. This is going to be a moment to receive permanent
Vala
damage
onto
on
CC. They want to do more. The silence does not connect onto too many.
Okay, this is actually really important for L5. They need to do more here. They get the kill. Can they get two? Sake's booped in. That's a double. Could be a triple. And what Rich is doing in the top lane is nowhere near as significant. He stayed up there solo to try to mitigate the experience lead that L5 would get. They had confidence that MVP Black would be able to, in the bot lane, defend that push a lot better, but the coordinated attack for L5 did too much to them. Oh my god. I wonder if those shots actually... I wonder if the shots actually went to the core. Oh, Hooligan's like, hold on. Those shots should have hit.
The shots were hit. We need a pause here.
But now they lost an entire keep. They traded keep for almost a wall.
Well, you think you're safe behind the fort. You think you're safe, but once there is a speed boost on to the other side, you will be chased, you will be focused. I think Vala was... I can't really call and say out that Vala was in a dangerous positioning in the front line, but you kind of knew that they would dive in along with the Immortal just like that. So I think we're really seeing the power of Lucio in every single moment just like this.
So Hooligan had problems with his headset, his sound in his headset for a moment. So as soon as it's resolved, we will resume the game. Looks like it's actually been resolved already, I think. That's what I heard. So just a very brief pause this time. And but huge win here for L5.
Yeah. If this is your first time watching Korea, of course, we do play offline, and there are technical difficulties. Not as many as this, though. We barely ever have pauses for matches.
No.
But today, just for you guys to enjoy this long time, and for us to greet you guys and all have fun together.
It's a tactical pause by us trying to wait for more Europeans to wake up to watch this.
Maybe. For NA viewers, too.
Or NA viewers, I guess, more than Europeans at this point. Excuse me. A little bit sick this weekend, and as you guys could probably hear, my voice is pretty gone.
Too much energy for heroes, yo.
But, yeah, I mean, these pauses, again, they happen. People have headset problems. For MVP Black now, they're going to be a talent tier down briefly. There's not much objective control that L5 can gain from this, I suppose, though, so it's not the end of the world. L5 had to Hearth Home. They couldn't steal the camp. They couldn't invade. This is some really like advanced stuff we're seeing from L5. From the level 1 lane swap that tricked MVP Black, that wanted to put so much into the Sonya solo lane, to their coordinated dive of the fort. Really impressive. And it only works with Lucio, as you said. I'm going to trade neutral camps here. MVP Black, as I mentioned, is behind the level, but the talent tier disadvantage is so brief. Structural lead, though, is going to be the big story here. 2 forts down for Black, so L5 has that entire fort lead.
Rich did commit all the way in, but he couldn't really do much compared to the 4-man push at the beginning. He needed a lot more time, and meanwhile his teammates were dead. He couldn't even get the fort. I don't think it's even damaged at all.
A hold on this Shaman camp, actually, currently. I want to time this with the Immortal, it looks like. So just going to leave Arthas there to wait for that timing while L5 is currently invading right now. Both teams want to make the maximum value for this. That's why this invade is more proactive for L5. It forces the time to be a little bit worse. I mean, we're talking the slightest of slight. So John can take this at the perfect timing. Is it going to matter that much? Yes, actually. If L5 clears this right now, it will matter a lot. That's why MVP is protecting this while the Immortals spawn.
Yeah, because Sonya will have to go up and clear, so they want to come in and maybe even fully commit and make this into a team fight. Sonya is going down, trying to flank from the side.
Okay, Shaman camp's down here, so mission accomplished for L5. Their camp is going to be more valuable in the top lane now as we head into this Immortal phase. Someone will have to clear that, or it will start to do damage to the keep. wall. So really important position now for L5. They had their aggressive invade, forced an early cap, very successful. Now Rich isn't here, and him being gone alone is enough for them to be able to get into a better position. And actually, they're going to look for a gank attempt on him. Rich is looking for the mount.
Ooh, Rich the spot. Nice. Good.
Good game sense there.
Good game sense there. I was about to say good nose. We're smelling L5 coming up, but they are into aggressive positioning now. CC's does not connect.
He's still not there. Rich is still cleaning the top lane right now.
It's taking a long, long time.
So L5 is getting a lead here in terms of the Immortal Shield. Soy always there looking for a boop on the reset, always looking for that angle. So they can try to get the kills here. No level 10 just yet, so no go for the throat. And finally that top camp is cleared, but L5 has a massive lead in terms of health now as a result.
L5 is really controlling the macro against Black right now. And not just right now, in this entire series, I think they are above a level, but Reset getting tons of damage. They're pressuring in. Jungla doing some CCs, but Sonya is still alive and healthy.
Okay, Rich is being focused down here. He's gone. Reset's going to go down so easily now. SC does get stunned, but it doesn't matter. There's enough DPS here. That's going to be the pick onto Tist as well. And this is going to be a heavily shielded Immortal. L5 gets level 10 from this. And dominating this game right now is L5. In Korean Heroes of the Storm, sometimes it's the little things, like a camp timing advantage because of an invade and one Aldruin sword there that makes MVP Black cap a few seconds before you. That means you can clear the cap, which means Sonya has to be top, and everything changes in that one moment. L5 gets the lead, forces Black to be more aggressive. They take the defensive engage.
Yeah, but for you to do that in blind spots, it takes courage, it takes teamwork, it takes guts. Sometimes you need to risk those changes, and L5 did, instead of Black just waiting on their spot. I think that really changed the shift. They were leading at the moment, so it was a lot easier for L5 to actually do that, but also that, I think, really changed this entire Immortal.
Syndragosa is being held here too, by the way.
Oh, they may want to finish the game if they want to have
If they get a pick, maybe.
Here.
Yeah, if they get a pick, maybe they go for the Syndragosa. Syndragosa could get them this keep. They're not going to commit to it, though.
But no, not this time, and Mosh Pit locked in from Tist.
Hooligans very low. Silence, no sank, no sanctification. Interrupted by the Science. We talked about this in the draft. Such a clear moment here of exactly what we talked about. When Aldruin's in, it's such an obvious sank location. Boom, Silence comes in. Will they save this keep? They will. A huge moment here for MVP Black. So important they save that keep.
The sanctification could have been dropped without the Silence, and if it was dropped, I think Greymane, along with the back line, could have just dove in to the keep and maybe got the keep, or even more, maybe kills going out for L5 there. But great Silence coming in from Socket, that perfect positioning right next to the keep. Now they want the pressure a little bit more as they have some space. They want to take this fort down as there's some time before the camp arrives onto the keep wall at the bottom.
Okay. But that camp is going to eventually get there. So Black needs to make something happen soon or back off. They need to be decisive here, not indecisive. So now they have to use Flailing Arm to actually get the mounts. That Flailing Arm grants everybody mounts. They get the mount up. So that means they can get through this minion wave. They escape. They'll need to go deal with that Impaler camp. Looks like they want to take on their way down potentially this the Sapper camp, the Fallen Shaman camp. So camps will be traded. Look at again. Tyrael's rotating over to try to mess up that camp timing. I don't know exactly when the Immortal's going to spawn this time. Should be soon, though, so maybe they want to hold it. Nope, just going to insta-cap it. With the wave pressure they already have in the top lane, L5, and how low that keep is, I can understand. They're going to invade. Invading again, being proactive, but yet again, Sank denied by the Silence.
Nicely done, and he wants more Soy. Almost goes down from the poison damage. Oh, wow. Hooligan was trying to make the noblesse move, going in and maybe dropping a Sank, but there's not enough. The Silence kicked in at the perfect timing. Well done by Sake.
So, invade again. Proactive attempt for L5, though. Even though it didn't work, you have to give them credit for it, and I think being proactive like this is what might bring them back in this series. Immortal spawn. Caps cleared. This time Sonya will be there from start to finish. Not going to be dealing with that cap like she was last time. Did have the respawn from Tyrael, so he's back here as well. It's like Swoy just wants to deal with this push for the time being. They're going to take the defensive stance. Both teams. Dive on both sides very difficult. But Black has tools like the Divine Shield, like the Flailing Arm to get into good position. L5 similarly does have the Sanctification. I think baiting out the Lurking Arm first before using the Aldruins is the best way to make a Sank engage work for L5 because clearly Sake has their number on these. Hooligan's coming over now. Checks this bush. He's looking for that hard engage. There it is.
Sonya's down there, so they are making the engage, focusing on to Uther for now. The rain is good as here comes Sonya.
Stun into the wall here against Hooligan. Sank once again interrupted. He's got the Aldruins down again. Sake's waiting for it. Not even going to commit this time. Too risky. L5 has to back off. This is a good opportunity for MVP now. And Rich is in the front here, doing that damage, getting that lifesteal. This is going to force a big reaction. SC misses his cocktail, does get stunned, but will live through it here. Strunga versus Rich is the battle to watch right now.
Silence Hooligan is looking for that Sanctification angle. Reset is pressuring in as doing max damage with the Qs.
Just finished his quest as well. You can see that light glowing there, letting you know. But MVP wins this battle. They will win halftime with full health on their Immortal, not a scratch on it on the side of L5. Well, maybe that one Aldrin scratched it a little bit.
On it.
Yeah, just one little scratch. Basically impervious, though. Okay, now L5 is going to hard engage. They need to win this. Swipe does ruin the advance. Save the stun.
Wanted to come in, but great disengage from Reset.
A silence already used. This is an opportunity for Sank. He knows the silence is going to be on cooldown. This is when he can engage with that Aldruins. There it is. Not going to be it, though. The team has already retreated. So by the time he can fight again, the silence will be ready again. And this is going to be a fully shielded Immortal. MVP Black, great crisis management here. Denials of 2 different Sanctifications. They win the longer fight.
Just in time, and Sonya just went up to clear the huge wave on top. If L5 actually stalled 20, 30 more seconds, this huge wave on top could have done some damage to the keep. Now this Immortal is actually pushing top because, of course, Immortal always goes to a healthier lane. And now the pressure on top can be nullified with this Immortal now for MVP Black.
This is going to be a tense moment for L5. You can still look for that Sank engage, but again, it's going to have to be once the silence is on cooldown. That's not the only way they can engage it, but it's their best bet, right? And it's just been so well done by Sake all series long with the silence. Is going to use this to zone now because the Immortal still has ranged attacks. This is a safe way to get rid of this wall. Jung's coming in from the side here. Hooligan does get interrupted again. No Sank here. Mosh Pit, Divine Shield, triple here, and Rich is going to clean him up here with Reset. This may be game. So well played here. Countering that engage there with the Arthas, coming in with Divine Shield Mosh. Everybody was stacked up. That's going to be the end of this series.
Jungha knows the game is over. And that's the game. That easy, that clean. Shield Mosh, insanely done. There's the beast steps, sprays, drop everything, boys. MVP Black will take the series.
They're going to take it 3-1. Very likely we're going to have that tiebreaker match between L5 and Tempest to decide who's going to BlizzCon directly. High fives all around. The Holy Cow is the one that ends this series in a flash. Divine Shield was perfect. They came in. It was like, it almost looked like no words were spoken. It was just an understanding, a connecting of minds. The ETC comes in, the Divine Shield comes during that power slide. Boom, Mosh goes down, and the dreams of L5 are shattered in one instant.
Just one Mosh, one single Mosh in that game was the game-ending Mosh.
And now MVP Black 13-0. Their last opponent, their last match is against Raven, who would pretty much seal the deal, sign the contract. This team is going to be 14-0, undefeated. The only team ever in this entire year to be able to end a split with 0 matches lost.
Well, MVP Black seems like they will be very close to get that 14-0. Made it 13-0. Seems like we're having a tiebreak between Tempest and L5. Of course, assuming that Tempest will win their last match 3-0, and also L5 winning their last match 3-0.
Very likely those matches.
I think it is the first tiebreak of HGC that may happen.
Those last matches, by the way, are L5 against Raven.
Yeah, that's very likely 3-0.
And Tempest against Blossom. So that's less likely, but still very
likely. A lot
likely.
less likely, but we may actually see an upset. But Tempest will, of course, do their best too.
Yeah, to get the 3-0 because
Yes,
they need
they
it.
need it.
So
to have, I wonder that tiebreak on the last day before the week of. That's amazing. That will be an epic game between ranked 2nd and 3rd going it. It's BO5, right? The
I
same
think so. I
drill?
actually don't know because it's never happened to us before here. So I imagine at worst case it's best of 3, but it's probably a best of 5.
I want it to be best of 5.
I want it
an
to be
epic
best of
series.
7. Like
I want it best of 11.
We don't want to do best of 69.
There are
like,
only 9 maps. 2 maps are banned. You can only have best of 7. Yes.
So we're gonna have an interview with our MVP. Sake is my MVP tonight. I think
Rich is. Oh, he's been there too many times, but I think he's the MVP.
Kyocha as well. Incredible play on the Tracer.
That's
tonight.
right.
We'll see who it's gonna be as we head into this finally here. It's been a long night of HGC. Let's find out who the MVP is, and G-Clef will translate that interview. Here we go.
자, 오늘의
It
MVP
is
Kyocha
Kyocha.
선수와 함께합니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
자, 오랜만에 뵙습니다. 같이
been a while,
그때
Kyocha.
하고 이제 선수 MVP로서 이 자리에 오셨는데 오늘 소감
You're
어떠십니까?
the MVP for tonight. How do you feel?
솔직히
네.
Honestly,
저희는 딱히 템페스트를 2등으로 보낼 생각은 없었는데
well,
오히려
we weren't really
노-
thinking of
내려놓고 편하게
having
하니까
Tempest
잘
as a
된 것
second
같아요.
place.
아까 화면
But we weren't really thinking of the other
other
things. We actually
이겼다 그 느낌이었거든요.
took this
그런 얘기를
comfortable.
할 수밖에
예.
없는 게 경기를 치르고 나니까 지금 수염이 덥수룩이 자랐어요.
And after the match,
네.
seems like you
저는
grew
제
some
나름대로
mustache
징크스.
there.
그냥 안 갖고 와요. 원래 경기 날 잘.
경기를 하는 동안 굉장히 많이 잘한 줄 알았는데 아 징크스.
Usually I do not shave on the game day. I think that's why.
오늘
It's one of my
경기도 쉽지
jinx.
않았잖아요.
To not shave on the game day.
L5라는 팀이 블리즈컨에 가게 됐을 때
네.
라이벌 관계,
If
라이벌
L5
구도
makes it to BlizzCon,
그게 좀 유지가 될까요?
the rivalry, do you think that's going to continue in
홀리건
BlizzCon?
선수랑
네.
그 순둥이 선수가 왔을 때는
SE and Hooligan,
쉬워 보였었는데
when they joined the
그렇지
team
않았고요.
initially,
이번
they looked easy, but
때도 그렇고
after an
그래서
Eastern
계속
clash,
강력한 라이벌이라고
I
생각하고
think
있고
they are a
네.
very strong rival
저희가
match.
조금이라도
against
막
us.
연습을 안 한다고 하면은 충분히 밀릴 수 있을 것 같아요.
I think if we lack in practice
자,
time,
이렇게
even
해서
by a
지금
little bit, I think
MVP
they can
블랙이
actually win over
L5의
us.
승리를 거두면서 일단 타이브레이커 재경기의 가능성을 싹 높여놨었거든요.
So with this 3-1 victory tonight,
지금
the-
3대1 승리가 나와서
네.
네.
because of this
L5와
3-1,
팀페스트가 남았는데
the chances of
3대0으로 다 잡으면
tiebreak next Sunday is very high.
재밌죠? 네.
다행이네요. 한번
네.
치기 다행이네요.
브레이브는
That's a lot of fun, right?
네, 뭐
네.
MVP 블랙이 HGC
네.
코리아의 그런 재미를 한껏 더해주고
네.
있는
MVP Black
상황이고.
really bringing the
다행이네요.
entertainment
다행이죠.
value to
그렇죠.
HGC Korea.
네.
I'm glad that I did
L5가 그냥
something.
올라오는 게 좀 싫은가요?
그것도 있고 일단 L5랑 템페스트 서로 하는
예.
게
Well, L5 and
3대
Tempest,
이렇게 접전으로
네.
치러지니까
네.
또 보면 재밌을 것 같아서
I think
순수한
it'll be a
마음으로.
great
예.
Wha-
자, 그러면 아마추어
great match to
인터뷰를
watch as a
해보겠습니다.
fan, as a
MVP
viewer
블리즈컨
of HGC
진출을
also.
확정지은 상황에서 이제는 해외 팀들을 주시하고 계실 텐데 엠블랙이 보는
Of course, you'll be watching lots of
실력에
other
대한 의견이
regions.
궁금합니다.
How do you think your team
저는
is
요즘
compared to
실력이
other
잘해서
teams?
네.
딱히 챙겨보진 않거든요. 근데
Because of
제
practice, I don't really watch other regions too much.
경험을 미뤄봤을 때
네.
항상 푸나틱과 디그니타스가
But from all the experience I had,
메타가 앞서 있던
I think
경우가
Fnatic
많아가지고
and Dignitas usually they were
강할 것 같아요.
a step ahead in the meta, and I think they will be the stronger teams in BlizzCon.
이게 그 블리즈컨 가서 뭐
네.
유럽이나 북미 상대로 잘 통할까요?
And of course, our Korean meta, do you
저는
think
지금 약간 느낌이
it will be, and your Tracer, do you think it will be effective against all EU teams and NA teams?
아,
어.
약간 늦다.
네,
I think
그런
Korean meta is
느낌이 좀
a
들어서
bit
막상
slower
가서
compared to
해보면은
everyone else.
저희가 아직도 뒤쳐질 수
아,
있다는
뒤쳐져 있을
느낌이
수도 있겠고.
And even when we go to
저는 근데
BlizzCon,
오늘
I think it
첫
can
번째
be the
세트에서
same.
삼지연가 들고 나오셨잖아요.
아, 네.
이거
And
tonight you had
픽이셨어요?
A triple support
네,
game.
이거 L5가 하는 거 봐가지고 미라클이랑 그래서 한번 해봤어요.
Oh, we watched the match
를 이제 치기 위한
between the L5 and
전략으로
Miracle,
들고 온 건데
네,
and we tried
굉장히
something
흐름은
new.
좋았어요.
좋았는데 그 신성한 땅 한 방에
아 그렇죠.
But
아이비
that
가이드
one holy
깜짝
ground.
놀래가지고.
and we were
솔직히
gone.
그냥 이길 줄 알았는데.
And I thought we were about to win.
바리안도 솔직히 안 죽거든요.
네.
그쵸, 그쵸, 그쵸.
And Varian is not the best tank.
펼쳐져서 그것 때문에 진 것 같아.
저는
But I think the holy ground really made the
교차
difference.
선수에게 개인적인 질문인데.
I have a personal question to
사실-
you, Kyocha.
저희 둘만 아는 일이에요.
네.
FF 때
And
원래 교차 선수가
during FF,
들어올 수 있었어요.
네.
Kyocha, you
맞아요.
네, 그런데
couldn't come
왜
into
안
my
들어오는지
team.
어디에 들어왔더니요?
아니 저희 둘만 아는 얘기예요.
예.
FF에 들어올 수 있었는데
FF is an
PC방
old
가기
Korean team that
귀찮다고.
King made.
아니에요.
아니 그때 저한테 전화로
And when you
일반
called
가기
me,
지금 안 된다 그래가지고
you couldn't.
운명이 바뀐 거죠.
아니 그때 그게 아니라
You
제가
said you
늦게
couldn't
일어나서
join into
아,
the
맞아,
game
맞아,
and
맞아,
your
맞아,
destiny
맞아.
그때
changed.
용봉사님이
맞아요,
받으셨거든요.
맞아요. 그래서 사실 FF에 교차가 있었으면 어땠을까?
If FF had Kyocha
네,
long
이
time
사람의
ago,
운명은 바뀌었을 텐데.
바뀌었을 것 같아요. 제가 거기 FF를 못 들어가가지고 MVP 입단 테스트를 봤거든요.
and because I couldn't get into FF, I
잘됐네요.
네.
더 잘됐네요.
어떻게 보면
네. 아무튼
I
되게 잘 되고
I started
있어서.
trials
네,
for MVP, which is
네.
a better one, I
보기
guess.
좋네요. 보기 좋네요.
네, 감사합니다.
자 이제 이제 이번
FF is known for-
시즌 2 후반기 마지막 경기만 놓고 있는데
A King,
이제
old heroes
각오와
team that
시청자
King made
여러분들에게
long time ago with lots of Korean pros right now among in all the teams.
Yeah, very famous team
네.
actually. Not very successful compared to
제
MVP.
기준으로는 성적을 좀 낸 것 같아서 이번 이스턴 클래시 때 좀 기분이 많이
To my standard, of course, we didn't do
이번에 준비 열심히
too well
해가지고 블리즈컨 꼭
in
우승할 수
Eastern
있도록.
Clash, but overall in our
자 그리고 이제
our league result seems all okay and very satisfying. And in upcoming
한 번은
BlizzCon,
있는데
we'll show a
저희가
lot
이거 따로
better
준비했는데.
performance.
아 진짜요?
다른 게 많은데 이거는 교차 거다 해서 네.
And now the
준비했습니다.
present time, the only one remaining for the
정말
last
마음에
day
들
of
걸요.
the weekend,
아,
it is.
바로 뜯어보시게요. 완전 상남자시네요.
잠시만요.
네.
Wait a second.
천천히 푸세요. 괜찮습니다.
그럼요.
예.
저희는 시간이 많아요.
예.
We have a lot of time.
제약이 없는 방송이라서요. 한번 보여주시기
It's
바랍니다.
Murky!
이거 뭐죠?
No.
이게?
Murloc! What is this?
머키인가요?
Is it Murky?
아 감사합니다.
마음에 들죠?
어, thank you.
기분이 좋네요.
정신 닮아서 노블레스.
자, 이렇게
It looks
해서
like
오랜만에
noblesse
이제 저랑
and
같이
it
옛날에
makes me
선수를
laugh.
같이 했던 이제 교차 선수, 이제 이 자리의 선수로서 MVP의 자리로서 왔는데 정말 축하드리겠습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
예. 더욱더 좋은 모습 보여주시기 바라겠습니다. 자, 오늘 경기
And it seems like
결과
that's the
보도록
end of
하겠습니다.
the interview with Kyocha. After they took a win over L5 tonight. Look at this.
Was a great series. It lived up to the hype. We had every game was incredible. We went to late game. We saw different compositions of all types, and like I want to say two things. I think that this meta, this one DPS carry double support meta, will be the new meta for months. It will become the standard meta. I mean, it already is basically, but it is going to be the meta for a while. And I hope that Blizzard doesn't nerf it. I want to see teams try to figure out how to beat it.
Look at that.
13-0.
I see 2 2s. Nice.
L5 and Tempest, even if they both get the same score, it will be tied, of course. And that is going to be a very exciting potential tiebreaker there that gets played out. So that's the importance of this, right? Tempest could pass L5. If there's an upset, by the way, like if Tempest wins their series 3-0 and L5 wins theirs 3-1, then that's it. Tempest just takes second. So like
straight to
both-
BlizzCon.
both of their series are favorites in, and like we said, very likely they'll take 3-0s, but you know, upsets happen, man. It's so important. This is one of those matches, Tempest versus Blossom.
It will be starting next Friday. We have one each. Tempest playing on Friday and L5 playing on Saturday. So those obviously matter a lot. Of course, the match number 2, Miracle versus RRR, matters a little less, but still a pretty cool action will be happening. So keep tuning in for Friday.
I want to see some Jaina. I want to see some Burst Mage attempts with Kel'Thuzad
That's
available
right,
next week.
Kel'Thuzad. It will be
Maybe Kel'Thuzad is the way to burst down these heroes that are being supported by 2 healers before they can live, before they can do their damage. I think that the fact that we have Kel'Thuzad now, the fact that Jaina is reworked, Gul'dan is becoming more meta, I
That's
think
right.
that could be the way to deal with this hyper carry meta. We don't know yet. We won't know until it happens, but those are the series we got coming up.
Yeah, I think the burst mages can be a big help in the meta, maybe a big shift in the meta. maybe we'll just keep on having all the support bans, support chokes coming out next week. But we're done for today.
We're done for the week. We will, of course, have Europe and NA on this channel. Coming up in just a few hours' time will be Europe. So don't leave this channel. See you guys next week for myself and G-Clef.